Hello, my name is Daina Bojāre. I am from Nature Conservation Agency of Latvia. I'm representative of life cohabit monitoring expert. And today my topic is restoration of coastal lagoons and grasslands in Nature Park Piejūra. Nature Park Piejūra is one of the most significant Natura 2000 areas in Latvia for conservation of boreal Baltic coastal meadows. As we heard in previous presentation, Rūta sniedze. Piejūra is one of the six of the total six territory where are located boreal coastal meadows in Latvia. It's quite big and significant area for this biotope. And the coastal lagoons and coastal grasslands are located in Daugavgrīva and Vakarbuļi. It is in Riga municipality. And here we can see a rare species of coastal grasslands in Vakarbuļi. As we heard, there are a typical plant is one of the most interesting plant is marsh angelica palustris. Also, there are strawberry clover Trifolium fragiferum and Triglochyn maritimum. And for rare bird species, it is significant territory. There are one of the most important migratory routes in Europe, the White and Baltic Sea bird migration route, which is crossing nature park. There are important place for the rest and feeding for migratory birds in coastal lagoons. So here you can see the some species of birds. And about project aim, the goal is to reach a favorable conservation status of habitats and species of the UA and Latvian significance. The project aim is improving the quality of coastal habitats. As a result, one of the result is the decreased extent common reed, Phragmites australis. Increase in open water areas in lagoons, improving vegetation structure and species diversity, also improving conditions for breeding, resting and feeding bird species of lagoon and grasslands. And so let's start with coastal grasslands in Vakarbuļi. There are located habitat boreal Baltic coastal meadow with big population of rare species Gladiolus imbricatus in Vakarbuļi. Also Hydrophilus tall herb fringe communities near the Buļupe. And what are the problems identified here? Generally, it is previous grass mulching in a part of the territory and lack of management, animal grazing or mowing, and that's causing domination on high density of common reed, grasslands with a thick layer of litter or old grass, low species diversity, and unsuitable conditions for nesting birds. The first step of restoration is management planning. Grassland restoration plan and methods were proposed by certified species and habitat experts and in cooperation with project experts based on assessment of the initial habitat and species condition. And there is management methods. The following activities were carried out to improve habitat quality. Cutting trees and shrubs where is necessary, removal of thatch and reed litter by harrowing. Sorry, here we can see this tractor who are making this, who are doing this harrowing in early spring. Also mowing and collecting grass and reeds. And in this illustration we can see that there are working 3 tractors because of challenge the high level of water, and some of tractors sometimes just stop the work. Yes, and then others are helping to to continue. And how it looks like we can see here in these figures. Total area of restoration is 4.5 hectare. And the first year of renovation was May of 218. Removal of thatch and reed litter by harrowing, and it was done in all territory here. So in August of the same year, that was start mowing and collecting grass and reeds in belts of territory. It means that we choose the methods mowing gradually in the different belts. And next year, 2080, we also repeat 2 times mowing in the belts, and third time we mowing all total territory. This gradual mowing, it helps to produce the seeds of different different plants who are flowering the different time, or this period of flowering is very long, all summer. So, and especially these rare species like such as Gladiolus imbricatus, which are flowering late summer. So, and in 2020, after project activities, management continues by grazing of mobile cattle herd, as we see, and after this was late mowing of territory. So there are workers of our grasslands, but it's continued by Riga municipality, this works. Also, the one additional specific activity was restoration with sowing the seeds of semi-parasite plant Rhinanthus minor. It helps decrease reeds because of this nature of semi-parasite. So, and in very dry parts of meadows, we use other method to increase population of rare species Armeria maritima, with opening bare soil. So here you see the species. It is typical species of these grasslands, and here is the bare soil in after 1 year, and it's gradually coming these typically for these dry places, plants are coming in. We will see what's happened after some more time. And about coastal lagoon in Daugavgrīva. Here we can see it from above. There you can see the complex of the coastal lagoons and grasslands in Daugavgrīva. And the problems for this area are that open lagoons are isolated from the sea. Only during big storms, sea brackish water enters the area. And the rest of the territory, it is covered by dense common reed. And that's why biodiversity is very poor. And last big storms was the last was 2013. And situation in 270 was that the domination of the common reed are very strong. Here we, as you can see, no biodiversity, no other plants, just reed. And here is infrastructure goes to the sea through this reed vegetation. And here is let's look some video from above to our territory of restoration. It is here, which is here. It is before renovation. Situation 3 years ago. All lagoon is very wet in the springs. It is time of May, early season of vegetation. Also some trees and shrubs are there. So, and vegetation is without mosaic. It's just common reed and very wet. And actually, I don't know. For me, it was very. I wonder how it works, this mowing in this very wet area. And but restoration was started in 280 in the summer, and the methods of restoration was mowing and removal of reeds, and very important was noticed that mowing must be done very low, only 5 till 10 centimeter high, and all reeds must be removed from this territory. Also, important thing was separate reed plots left untouched near open water bodies, which is open lagoon. Also, here was here was these patches of untouched reeds. This is territory where was mowed by tractors, and these are territory with shrubs. Only big trees left. Total area is approximately 5 hectares. And here is the tractors who are working with the shrubs and the reeds mowing. Also by hands, it's handiwork, and also tractor. And some tractors also was problematic work because of this water level. And here we can see that all reeds are moved out from territory. And now some words about restoration and maintenance success monitoring. The both territories in Daugavgrīva and Vakarbuļi were monitored according to project monitoring guidelines. Areas has to be monitored 3 times during project. And the first was vegetation changes monitoring, including specially protected species. It was done by a method of temporary and permanent sampling plots of vegetation were established for monitoring. Especially attention was on vegetation structure, species composition, and abundance, according to the Brown Blanquet, as well as the cover of trees was monitored. The other monitoring method was photo fixation of vegetation plots and landscape from representative points. Here we can see the picture on 218, then after a year, and it's after 2 years, in 2020. It's from the same point. We can see the changes. Here is only big trees are left, and the reeds are very small, or vegetation is more diverse. Also, bird monitoring in grasslands and lagoons during nesting season was done. A drone was used for monitoring changes in coastal lagoons of Daugavgrīva. It was very useful for from our opinion, because of big level of water. So here is some illustration during works in the same place which are shown before. And now about first results and main conclusions. Restoration and activities covered 9 and 4 hectare of coastal grassland and lagoon complex in Daugavgrīva and Vakarbuļi. As a result, the vegetation structure has become more optimal, and the number of rare and characteristic species is expected to increase. In general, ecological conditions have significantly improved for marsh Angelica palustris, and an increase of the population is expected in nearest future, and more monitoring will be continued. Also, we can see that density and height of the common reed have decreased in the area. It and opened new paths for feeding birds near the banks of lagoon is done, and it's here is typical birds are arrived here, some of them. So thank you, and let's go for future and to see what's good happening with these territories. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Daina. And now we have time for discussion. I don't know, do we have opportunity to connect to those Zoom? No? So no question, no questions there. So any discussions you would like to start in this conference room? Everything is clear? Hey, go on.
I have a question for Andrea Bonemetto about the Venice Lagoon. What is your opinion on this huge anti-flooding project, MOS project? Isn't that possible that due to this project, salinity in Venice Lagoon will decrease significantly? Or maybe there will be some another consequences to this project. What is your take on this?
Hopefully.
And I'm sorry, I think that there are many microphones open all together. I don't understand the question. Maybe, Danny, you have the microphone open?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, sorry, now I hear you. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, the question was the flooding project in Venice Lagoon, MOSE project. What is your opinion on this project, and want this decrease salinity in lagoon significantly, or maybe there will be some other consequences to this project? What do you think about that?
Yeah, okay. I can't say my total opinion on most project because I work for an institute that have no official position, but however I can answer your question. It's not a problem. The Mother project is not working now, but probably in this season we will have the first time during which the Mose will be enter in action, because for the day after tomorrow there is a forecast of tidal level that will flood probably the city of Venice, and if the forecast will be confirmed in the next days, maybe there will be the first time that Mose will work, will really work. And so, ask me my opinion on Sunday. And so this is from the point of view of the aim of the Mose, so that is to prevent the flooding of the city. From an environmental point of view, I think that the impact of the Mose will be different in the next future and in the a long future, because it depends on the number of flood event, and so the number of times that the Mose will close the connection between the lagoon and the sea. If this will be occur only 3, 5, 10 times a year, probably the impact on the hydrological regime is very low, will be very low. If in the next 50 years the level, the sea mean level will be 50 centimeters more than now, it means that the Mose probably will be closed every 2 days, every week. So the impact of the hydrology of the Venice Lagoon will be, of course, higher. Not only in terms of salinity, but also in terms of exchange of water between the Venice and the lagoon, and so that nutrient fluxes and sediment fluxes, oxygenation, and so on. So my answer is that in the next future, probably if the Mose will be used not so many times, the impact on the environmental issues patterns will be not so high. But if in the long time the Mose will be closed several times in a week, so of course the impacts on the environmental aspects have to be assessed very carefully. I don't know if I answer your question.
Yes, thank you. But I have another question about those two rivers. What was the main reason why they were diverted, and why they cannot be re-diverted now back fully into the lagoon?
Yeah, okay. The main reason was because before the river diversion there were ongoing siltation of the lagoon. So in the last centuries the mean depth of the lagoon was alpha meters, and there was a problem for navigation when the Venice Republic was one of the most important city from commercial and also navigation with the Republic domain. So there were a problem for both this for this aspect, so for the siltation of the lagoon. After the river diversion, and also after the inlet construction, in the three inlets, so the jetties construction, the situation changed completely, and now the problem of Venice Lagoon is not the siltation, but is the erosion. And there are studies that are demonstrating that probably in the 2050, the mean depth of the Venice Lagoon will be the 2 meters. So from the alpha meters in the last centuries to from 2 meters now. But if you think that the tidal regime is only 1 meters, you can understand that 1 meters, the difference of 1 meters in the depth will change totally the habitat. So intertidal habitat will be subtidal habitat, for example. And there is also a risk for salt marshes, because we know that the salt marshes can follow the change in the mean sea level with sedimentation, but if there is a lack of sediment, of input of sediment from the river basin, there is not possible for salt marshes to grow with the sea level, and so there is a risk also in a further decrease of salt marshes surface. So the main the main reason was to prevent the siltation, but it worked. It worked very well. Probably it worked too much, and now the problem is the erosion. And the other reason was to prevent the malaria disease that in the 18th and 19th centuries were a problem in all Adriatic, all Italian coasts due to the presence of mosquitoes. But also, this is not a problem today. So the two main issues are not a reason today to will solve. And you asked also why we don't diverted again all the river inside the lagoon. And I can answer, when we start to think about this project, we went to the river basin authority, and we start to ask the permission for a diversion of 1,000 of liter per second from the Sile River into the lagoon. And they asked us if we are crazy, because the value for agricultural uses of 1 liter per 1,000 liter per second is very high. So after the diversion of the river, there is a land use and an economy based also on the diverted river that cannot be changed totally now. So we have to balance the two aspects. So maintain the water uses of diverted river, and also recovery the typical salinity and hydrological patterns and processes of the Venice lagoon.
Okay, thank you very much, Andrea. It seems that there's no further questioning about salinity, so maybe some other questions to our presenters. Okay, it looks like that there are no questions anymore, and we are going to another important part of the conference, coffee break. And thank you very much to our Spanish and Italian colleagues for participating in this conference and sharing their experience and knowledge. And hope to see you not only behind the screen but in real life as well someday soon. Thank you very much.